Do not allow the world to project their own insecurities onto you. You can always find space wherever you go. It's your job to like to find from within like who you are, and not allow that the world to justify it for you. Yeah, when I first came from Haiti and I came to the States, you know, I was in the cafeteria and I would sit next to kids and they would like, you know, like they didn't want to sit next to me. And me at the time, I didn't speak no English, and the kids would say things like, I knew like, because I could tell by body language and their faces that they would say things to their peers, and I hear the words, but I couldn't understand what they were saying. But these kids were legit making fun of me. I just didn't understand what they were saying. Didn't want to sit next to me. They made me feel very uncomfortable. Then I started feeling different. Like I started feeling like, wow, like, you know, like maybe I'm not as good as everybody else. You know, why am I feeling like this? And because of the kids were making me feel like that. They made me feel like I was different, something was wrong, the name calling, etc. And it made me feel very, very self-conscious till this day. Every time strangers look at me on the street, it's like I think back to myself. I'm like, what are they thinking? So I'm just running back all the thoughts that I used to face as a child. Like the things that the kids used to say to me. If people look at me and they start smiling, you know, laughing at it, it triggers something in me. It makes me go back. It puts me back. It always puts me back in the same place where it all started, which is junior high school here in the States, in high school.
You know, in a lot of the things you've spoken about recently, and I think in the video as well, you spoke about like kindness and compassion and acceptance and being nice to everybody. And with your experience of not receiving that, it's interesting that you arrive at that point of everyone should be kind.
Well, I've had to learn compassion, because it's like sometimes I ask myself like why those people did what they did, and you know, compassion is what kind of helps me navigate to maybe why, because maybe they, you know, didn't know better. Maybe they didn't know what they were doing at the time. But that doesn't mean that like it doesn't leave a scar. I still have to carry, you know, whether the person understand what they did or they didn't, I still gotta deal with the scar. Yeah, I think that this world would be a much better place if we practice kindness just a little bit more. Maybe I wouldn't be here today talking about, you know, somebody said in one of the comments I was reading that like, you know, I'm sorry that the world made you feel, you know, otherwise. Well, they did. You know, I think you're a beautiful person. I'm sorry that the world made you feel otherwise. Well, they did. And here I am.
That's tough, man, when you say it like that.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
I always felt like this journey of that I find myself in called modeling, I always feel like I had a purpose, and the purpose that have nothing to do with me, but the purpose is straight up bigger than me. I wanted to inspire kids around the world. I wanted to show children that like, despite of all the circumstances, the coming from Haiti, being an immigrant here in the States, had to go through the ups and the downs, and you can still make something of yourself. Despite all the bullying, the criticism, you can still make something of yourself. And that's what fuels me every single day. That there are kids out there who look up to me because I am a great example for what a person with all those experiences can be like. Well, I grew up in Brooklyn. I've always got stopped from like people telling me that, yeah, you know, I think you should model. I think you should model. So that kind of put something in me to make me, it made me feel as if like I have a greater purpose, like I have something to offer to this world. Like even when I was going to college, people were just telling me like, you know, like I think you have a very, you know, awesome look. I think you should give modeling a shot. And at some point, I never used to believe it. But one day, when that guy came up to me while I was working out in the park, and he said, I'm gonna start taking pictures of you. You know, it's one thing for everybody to be telling you that I think you should do something, I think you should do something. But it's another thing when like people are actually coming to you and like with their cameras asking you, can you give us a shot? We believe in you. You know, like you allowed me to take photos of you, and then like maybe we can go somewhere together, and all that stuff. Like I've always kept that stuff in me. It's like it made me feel like I had something great to offer. So I took that and ran with it, and feel like I have something way more positive to, because I mean, those people were just looking at me and seeing all these great things in me, and like, I didn't even see them in myself. So then after a while, I started believing in it, and I felt that I had something greater to offer, and was doing the great work. Yeah, you have to have thick skin. You have to have thick skin. You know, I was bullied in school, and that was like, not to say it's fine, but like that's fine. But like now, like you gotta constantly put yourself out there, and like, I mean, until this day, I still get comments, like negative comments on my social media handle. But you know, it's like I look back and all the things that I've done, like, you know, it's like I can't allow just the negativity to affect me anymore. You know, breaking the mold and breaking barriers and getting 1,000 no's. You get 100 yes, and you just gotta take those 100 yeses and just keep moving forward.
If there's one message that you could lead the world, you know, what would it be?
To be yourself, and never be afraid of being your authentic self. Do not allow the world to project their own insecurities onto you. You can always find space. You can always find space wherever you go. It's your job to like to find from within like who you are, and not allow that the world to justify it for you.
If you're like me and millions of other people, you probably lead a busy life, and that's where this stuff comes in absolutely clutch. I know that I just scoop, shake, and go, and I'm ready for my day. There are other companies that are trying to do what Huel is trying to do, but they use cheap ingredients. Sometimes it requires you to take 15 pills, or preparing food, trusting supplements with subpar ingredients, and also taking 15 pills a day is just something that we don't all want to do. That's where Huel makes health possible. Black Edition has 40 grams of protein in, 26 vitamins and minerals, and every single ingredient inside this has been carefully selected by Huel's expert team. So you know you're getting the good stuff. Don't just take my word for it. Millions of other people around the world are now using Huel as part of their daily routine. People like Idris Elba, Stephen Bartlett from The Diary of a CEO, Hardest Geezer, the man who ran the entire length of Africa, was using this stuff. If you want to join the movement, go to the link down below where you can get a free t-shirt, a free shaker, and also if you subscribe to Huel, you can get 10% off every single order. This is next freaking level. Go get some.